Hello and welcome to the 6 Minutes English Podcast. Fun, clear, and easy to follow English practice.
Remember to like this video and subscribe, so English can be part of your daily life.
I had the most frustrating moment this morning. I was trying to remember the name of that new cafe we passed by last week, the one with the bright yellow awning, and it was just gone. Completely blank. My memory is terrible sometimes.
Oh, I know that feeling. It happens to everyone, though. Our brains aren't perfect recording devices, like a camera or a computer hard drive. There's a whole science to it, actually, and it's quite fascinating how complex memory is.
I've always wondered about that. Like, why can I remember some trivial thing from my childhood with perfect clarity, but I forget what I had for breakfast yesterday? It seems so random. How does it even work? Well, at a very basic level, we have different kinds of memory. There's what's called working memory, or short-term memory, which is like a temporary mental notepad. It holds a small amount of information for a very short time. Think of remembering a phone number just long enough to dial it. Then there's long-term memory, which is your brain's vast library, storing everything from your childhood memories to facts you learned in school. So, if I want to remember something important, it has to move from that mental notepad into the library? Is that what happens when we learn something? Exactly. That process is called encoding. For something to even have a chance of going into long-term memory, your brain needs to pay attention to it. If you're distracted when someone tells you their name, for instance, your brain might not even bother encoding it properly. It's like writing something illegibly on your notepad. You won't be able to read it later. That makes so much sense. Like when I'm introduced to someone at a party and immediately forget their name because I'm thinking about what I'm going to say next. I thought I just had bad social skills, but maybe it's my brain being lazy. It's definitely related to how your brain prioritizes information. After encoding, if something is important enough, your brain goes through a process called consolidation. This is where that temporary information gets solidified and integrated into your long-term memory. And guess what plays a huge role in this? Sleep. Sleep? Really? So pulling all-nighters for an exam is actually counterproductive? I always thought cramming was the way to go. Absolutely counterproductive for long-term retention. While you sleep, your brain is actively working, transferring memories from temporary storage areas, like the hippocampus, to more permanent regions in the brain's cortex. It's essentially filing away all the day's information. That's why getting good sleep after learning something new is so crucial. Wow, that's a game changer. I always just thought sleep was for resting. But what about when you know something, but you just can't access it? Like that cafe name earlier. It felt like it was right there, but I couldn't grasp it. That's retrieval failure. The information is in your long-term memory, but you're having trouble pulling it out. It's like knowing a book is in a library, but you can't remember its title or where it's shelved. That feeling of it being right on the tip of my tongue is a perfect example of a retrieval block. On the tip of my tongue. What does that phrase really mean, anyway? It means you know something, and it feels like it's almost there, hovering at the edge of your consciousness, but you just can't quite articulate it or bring it to mind at that moment. It's a very common experience for when memory retrieval is almost, but not quite, successful. Got it. So what about forgetting things completely? Is that just the brain deciding it's not important anymore? Partly. There's decay theory, which suggests memories fade over time if they're not accessed or rehearsed. And then there's interference, where new information or old information gets in the way of remembering something else. Our brains are constantly updating, so not everything sticks around forever. It's actually a healthy process, otherwise, your brain would be overloaded with unnecessary data. So it's not just that I have a bad memory, but rather how the brain is designed to manage information. That makes me feel a bit better. Is there anything we can do to improve this whole process? Definitely. The brain is incredibly adaptable, a concept called neuroplasticity. It means your brain can literally rewire itself and form new connections throughout your life. Every time you learn something new or recall a memory, you're strengthening those neural pathways. So, memory isn't just a fixed capacity, it's a skill you can train. That's amazing. So, knowing all this, how can I use it to improve my memory, especially for something like learning new English? Vocabulary? There are several effective techniques. One is spaced repetition. Instead of cramming, review material at increasing intervals over time. For example, review new words after an hour, then a day, then 3 days, then a week. This tells your brain the information is important and needs to be consolidated. Like using flashcards, but not all at once? That makes sense. I always try to learn 50 words in one sitting and then forget half of them by the next day. Exactly. Another powerful technique is active recall. Instead of just rereading your notes or flashcards, test yourself. Try to recall the information from scratch. Close your book and try to explain a concept or define a word. This active effort to pull information out of your brain strengthens the retrieval pathways. It truly helps to jog your memory. Jog my memory? So, to help recall something, right? Yes, precisely. When you jog your memory, you're helping yourself or someone else remember something by giving a hint, a reminder, or a prompt. Like if you're trying to remember an old song, and someone hums a few notes, that might jog your memory, and help you recall the rest of the lyrics. It's about finding those cues to access stored information. That's a super useful phrase. And making connections, I suppose, is also important? Not just trying to memorize isolated facts. Absolutely. That's called elaboration. Try to connect new information to what you already know. Create mental images, tell stories, or explain concepts in your own words. The more hooks you have for a memory, the easier it is to retrieve. When you really think about it and connect it to other knowledge, that information truly starts to sink in. Sink in. Like, understand it deeply and make it part of your knowledge? Yes, exactly. When an idea or information sinks in, it means you've understood it thoroughly and absorbed it properly, often after some thought or time. It's not just a superficial understanding, it becomes deeply grasped and integrated into your comprehension.
It really is. Memory is less about natural talent and more about effective strategies and consistent practice. Understanding the science behind it empowers you to be more deliberate and efficient in how you learn and remember. I'm definitely going to try these techniques, especially for my English vocabulary. No more cramming before classes. Thanks for the fascinating brain science lesson. It really helped me grasp the concepts.
Thanks for listening to English Boost. Remember, practice a little every day and you'll see big results. See you in the next episode.